Welcome to Clean Water Champions, a virtual clean water celebration. Today we're going on a field trip to Better Earth Composting, and our guide will be Paul Rosenbaum. What is composting? It's where you take your food waste and leaf and litter and garbage, organic material, and return it to the earth. Make it dirt again. How could you change your waste stream? We're soon to find out. Let's go on a field trip to Better Earth Compost. So today we're at Better Earth to talk about how you can reduce your waste. How can you reduce your waste stream? How can you turn garbage into a useful material? And Paul Rosenbaum, who created Better Earth, is here to take us on a little tour.
Well, we'd like to welcome you here today to our facility. We started in 1998 as a farm compost facility where we were adding our dairy manure to the yard waste. But we saw how good it worked on our farm fields and people were wanting it, so we built the market. And there wasn't a market for this when we started. The landfill had been doing it and they couldn't give it away, but they didn't take it the extra steps.
That's great. Well, take us on a tour. How does this process work?
First off, we get the products, the waste material coming in. We get, we've got all the municipalities around. We get their yard waste, which is grass, leaves, and brush. We bring them over here to our mixing pad and our grinding pad. To our left right here is our carbon pile. This is what we do every fall. We grind the leaves that come in, and then we have them for the rest of the year and the next following year till the leaves come in again. We have that to mix in with our nitrogen sources, such as our food waste and our grass when it comes in.
I wish you guys could be here to smell this. Some people would go, ooh, but I know that that's a smell of fertility. That's a smell of good crops and good soil as you smell some of that yard waste and food waste beginning to decompose.
Everything has a smell. Some things smell not bad, some things don't smell so good. So within a week you don't see anything. Once we get in the rows and the microbes start working on it, you won't see the bones, the fish head, or anything. It just breaks down quickly. We can do cardboard. Some of these containers that you see have had corn syrup in it that is expired. So we've drained the corn syrup in, we mix it in. We've got a bunch of, we've even got some zoo poo in there from the Peoria Zoo. They bring it out here.
So I understand that if you take a head of lettuce and you put it in a landfill, it takes more than 25 years to decompose. But if your school is composting their waste, then within a couple of months, that's turned back into good soil.
Correct.
That's great.
Matter of fact, our process, from start to finish, takes 3 months.
Wow.
From when it gets dumped here, we grind it if we have to. The food waste, we usually don't have to do that. But anything that we grind, when we put it in the row, we put it out, then we start turning it. It takes 2 months to roughly compost it down, then about a month of curing, that's what we call it. Then it's ready to go in the bag. We're usually working off of last year's with the volume that we have, but in 3 months' time, you can go from that to the finished product that is ready to be used in your vegetable garden, in your flower garden, on top of your lawn.
That is genuinely exciting to think that trash turned to treasure, that old cliche, that your food waste from your school cafeteria can be turned into fertile soil to help grow next year's vegetables.
Garbage to gold.
From garbage to gold.
And it's black gold, so
Yeah.
just what's come in today, and this just to start, this pile today will probably be about 3 times bigger than that by the time all the trucks come in. We'll take this pile, and then we have a machine over here called a tub grinder. The pile that we have here will take approximately an hour to grind, and then it'll be either ground up leaves and there's some straw in there. The pumpkins you won't even see in it. And then these pieces of logs that we have, the firewood, they'll go right through it. The firewood, we like to have the wood in it. The pieces of wood helps promote the oxygen, or lets oxygen in on our rows. Right next door here is just a row that we just turned this morning. We just made it. We took what you saw in the food waste pit. We mixed that in with leaves. To make the compost, it's a recipe. You have to have the right carbon to nitrogen ratio. It's a 25 to 1 is what we shoot for. You want the moisture to be right around 60% when we start.
That's
so all the
great.
water is captured off of here. The technical term is it's leachate. We like to call it enhanced nutrient enriched water. And most of the water that we have here, I have farm ground right south of our facility. One of my neighbors owns Ideal Turf, and he's a sod farmer. So he takes our water and he puts sod out in the field, and he waters the sod with the water off of our facility. And not only that, and he actually doesn't add any fertilizer when he raises the sod on our property. We put an inch of compost on the field before he seeds it down, and that's enough nitrogen, phosphate, and potash for his whole crop. He doesn't add any commercial fertilizer on. He just puts on all the natural from my facility. I put the compost on it because he's taking just a little bit of dirt off, maybe a quarter inch of dirt every time he takes the sod off. Well, I don't want my topsoil to diminish, so every time we'll add an inch of compost to it, he works it into the ground. So that builds up the organic matter, builds up the fertility to it, and it builds up the height just a little bit for him. Over here you can see our rows that we have out on, this is where we do most of our composting, is out in this area. We've got 5 rows right there that are about halfway done. They've been composting for a month. Our rows, each one of them probably holds 800 to 1,000 yards of compost. And one of the neat things about compost, when I start out, it may be 14 to 1,500 cubic yards in the row. By the time I'm done, we lose and we screen it, 75% of the volume is gone because of the microbes.
That's a great reduction in waste.
It's a great reduction of waste. If you put it in the landfill, it would take 30 years. Well, this is where the end product comes out at. This is our 1/2-inch screen compost. It's just nice and fine. It's ready to go, ready for the gardeners to put it in the hole of the ground. To make a plant grow well, it's what's under the plant that makes the difference. It's what's in the hole. If it's got good soil for the roots to grow in, the plant will do okay.
And I love making the connection. So good soil means a healthier plant. Healthier plant means that it's reducing air pollution, it's improving the oxygen level, it's
Correct.
changing the climate in the positive direction.
Correct.
And again, it's a win, 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 win. Well, thank you for your time today. This has been really great. I've learned a few things, and I hope you have too. Think about your food waste and your yard waste. Maybe you could start your own compost pile in your backyard. And by composting, you're improving the soil, you're building up the soil, and you're improving the earth, hence better earth. And by improving the earth and growing more better plants in this great soil, you're improving water quality. What can you do to improve the water running off the land? First, you improve the land. And in this way, you too can be a clean water champion.